What's going on, y'all? Let me know if my mic is working. I had to fix a couple things here. How are y'all doing? It's been a while, about a couple weeks. I was in Vietnam. Let me check my settings real quick. Alrighty. Yep, it's working. Okay, great. So, this is my typical weekly Friday show, and happy to answer any questions. I'm gonna start going live. I'll try every week, every day if possible. I'm gonna try my best, and we'll see how 11 a.m. Central Time works for y'all. Before I was trying to do 10 a.m. Central Time to accommodate folks in the other countries. So let me see here. I do see a comment from Ahmed. And by the way, please bear with me. I'm just coming off a cough slash jet lag. I was in Vietnam for a couple weeks and it was a good time, but the weather is different than Texas, that's for sure. Still pretty hot out there, just like Texas, but it's still different. Um, Let me know if you've had to fly long distance and how you handle that with two little kids. I'll take any tips. But back to Ahmed, you need an attorney to file lawsuit against embassy in Ankara, Turkey for K1 fiance visa. Yeah, I mean, there's our office happy to help. Other attorneys happy to help. But the thing is to because we get a lot of calls, a very similar scenario. But the thing is, what we always check is the uh, depends on what stage your case is at. So, Ahmed, if you're still on, let me know if your fiance petition is still pending. So, need a little bit of idea on those dates to because at the end of the day, mandamus federal lawsuit is more about um, unreasonable, quote unquote, unreasonable delay. So we have a chart that we go by on what we believe is unreasonable. So, for example, if your petition, not saying for you, Ahmed, but if your petition was approved just like 2 months ago, that's not unreasonable enough. Uh, Unfortunately, even though maybe the petition itself took a long time. So we can sue at any stage of the case. It could be at the petition stage. So basically, step number one, it could be after the petition's approved, meaning the case is supposedly at National Visa Center. Because what's going on right now, y'all, is that the case, if it's stuck at the National Visa Center, it's gonna stay stuck until the embassy or consulate says that they're ready to receive cases. It used to be before pandemic that the case would just flow to the consulate embassy, okay? But then at the end of the day, then the consulate embassy will be backlogged. So it's kind of ebb or flow. I would rather have it before the pandemic style. By the way, if you hear any kids screaming in the background, please don't mind them. Let me know in the comments if you have any kids at home. I know it's difficult for all of us. Praying for all of y'all. Let's see here. And let me know where y'all watching from. I'm always interested how far the channel has grown. Let's see here. Appreciate the love. Hit the like or heart button. Okay, Kiara? Do I know if it's true that Nebraska office will start working 100% after October 23rd? Ooh, 100%. That is that's a huge promise there. Okay, USCIS. With a new director from the past year or two, Uz Mendoza. I know she's trying her best, but I don't. Even if it was 100%, you know, I think what you mean by Nebraska office is a service center. Nebraska, Vermont, Texas, and California. Texas service center is the best in terms of processing times. And uh, when your case is filed, your petition, and depending where you live, the mailing address for the petition, that's where the case gets mailed to. But as you might know by now, let's say if you only file a petition for us in Texas, that we send it to Phoenix, Arizona, but it doesn't stay in Phoenix. It gets moved over to a service center, for example, like Nebraska. And then when it goes to a service center, it's all random. It doesn't matter where you live. It's all they have their own system. I have no idea how they divide it up. So I see you have a second question. Can a DS-260 expire even if maintain contact with NVC every year? So it's not so much the NVC. I'm sorry, the DS-260 that would expire. I haven't heard that. It's more so usually if I hear about anything concerned about petitions expire, that is for the fiance visa petition, the I-129 F. But that is in terms of DS-260, it's not so much that. What I would be concerned about when your case is NVC or at the NVC is, well, Kiara, if you're still on, let us know um, what type of case you have. Is it marriage? If it's marriage based, then we know it's immediate relative because there's just so many different concerns depending on the case type. But to answer your question, DS-260 don't expire. Okay. It's more so about the more concern when it gets to NVC is more for those family preference cases. So, because those, when it hits the priority date, you have less than 1 year or less to move forward to the next step. So that's good. Either way, continue maintaining contact with NVC, assuming, oh, yours marriage based. Okay. So yours marriage based, then hopefully it's not been more than 1 year at NVC. So if that's the case, this will be an example that we could definitely chat with you if you want to call in and, eventually soon I'm going to definitely accept y'all to call in if you like to the channel, I mean, to the studio or join. But at least in terms of the office right now, if you want to speak with our cares team, they can help depending on your case type or situation. They can help schedule a free 15-minute appointment, which, by the way, friends, we do offer free 15 minutes. You don't have to pay a penny. Can you believe it? Most lawyers I talk to, I'm like, hey, y'all need to offer free 15 minutes. Most of my folks that come chat with us, they've already spoken with like 5 lawyers or something. And one time I had someone tell me they spoke with like 20 plus lawyers, and I felt honored that I was part of that 20 or the back end. So because here, we're trying to help solve immigration problems, and we understand that just by paying a lawyer, even $50 to 100, I know some people have to pay it 200. They 30 months. Okay, so my point here is that we want to help point you in the right direction, even if we can't actually help you legally. I know that by the time you probably have reached my channel, you've probably gone through a lot of situations. So we're here to help point you in that right direction. So what you can do is a couple things here. We do have a free guide on our website. You could probably check it down below the link, but if you don't have time to check the description box, it's really easy. greencardguys.com. And about that free 15 minutes, we do offer the secret code for that you have to share with our cares team. It just lets us know that you for sure have watched our channel at some point. Let's see. So, Kara, I do see that you have another follow up here. You've been in consular process and waiting for your 601. Okay, you got a 601A. You're waiting for that decision, and it's been 30 months. Okay, so you can file lawsuits based on a pending waiver case. Before the pandemic, on average, our waiver cases would be approved in about 8 to 9 months. Okay, pandemic obviously has exacerbated problems across USCIS. I think more so, and even the State Department, as you have listened to other channels and ours, is that at the end of the day, it boils down to people. And I think that's what you were trying to allude to, the 100% people. I don't think any company is at 100%, including the government, unfortunately, in terms of personnel. Our law firm is growing. For example, we had more positions to add. We're not at 100%. We would love to be, but it's hard to find. I don't know how the government, screens people, but we do a pretty good job in terms of screening for new team members. So I can't imagine that the government is specifically Nebraska Service Center. And so let me check it out here for other folks considering the processing times. This is what I do, okay? And maybe, Kiara, you've done this as well. Oh, that's not good. Hopefully it's still there. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling up the processing times. Okay, let me see if I can share my screen. But yeah, you could definitely file a lawsuit based on the okay, here it is. So this is what I go. You can file a lawsuit based on waiver cases as well. It doesn't not just have to be only the. Let me move that. Okay. Doesn't have to only be like petitions or waiting for, you're ready to provide your DS 160. I'm sorry, your DS 5535 for this nonsense information. It can also be for waivers. Okay, so I'm here at the USCIS website. Let's see, processing times. Oh, you can see it's highlighted. I go to this very often. Let's go to the waiver form number. Oh, 601A. Okay. I have other videos, by the way, about 601A, when you need to really consider having a waiver. But we're going to click on processing times. And that is on the channel. Now it says 80% of the cases are being completed within 80 months. I'm sorry, 80%, 80 months. That would be ridiculous. We would definitely need to sue in that situation. Absolutely. But this is 28 months, still ridiculous. The new feature they have, by the way, is, you can put in your receipt date. So, Kiara, you said about 30 months. Yeah. So, I mean, even by this thing right here. So what's your receipt date? My math is probably bad right now. 30 months, that's what? 3 years, that's 36 months. So yeah, tell me the receipt date. I'm gonna get my math wrong. Yeah, you sent 3 inquiries, 2 of them through Congressman. Oh man. So here's the deal. I know back in the day, submitting inquiry to a congressperson was helpful. But these days, they still want to help. Okay, the people that are working in the political office, like the staffers, they do want to help. They just put in requests, they forward a request to the respective agency. But really, that only means that they get the basic information, just as if you were submitting inquiry yourself. Contacting congressman or congressperson's office does not mean that they're going to push the case for you. So that's the key difference. Okay. Or I just typed in, okay, you said March 2020. Okay. Yeah. Right when the pandemic hit. So right when the pandemic hit, that probably means that, so yeah, you can send inquiry online because let's say if it's a case from 2021, then you probably cannot submit inquiry. Yep. It says case processing normally. Okay. So if it was a year in advance. Okay. Yeah, so you mentioned submitted 3 inquiries. Basically, they're not going to do anything. So at this point, you may want to consider chatting with our team or someone else. Okay, you just whether it's us or another law firm. There's plenty of not every law firm does this mandamus lawsuits, but of course we're colleagues with several other law firms that also do this type of work. So at the end of the day, you just need to make it moving, get your case moving. Okay, so the only way to do this at this point, Kiara and other folks, and I apologize if I pronounced your name wrong, but you need to take the next action. Okay, just chat with a law firm. Make sure you're comfortable. That's what we do. Make sure you're comfortable, that you understand what it means. So here's the main question most folks have about mandamus, and that is, will filing a lawsuit mean that my case get denied? Look, at the end of the day, it doesn't guarantee you're going to get approval, whether it's a petition or waiver approval or even your visa issued at the consular embassy. But what it does is it pushes the case to make a decision, because that's what the government is doing because of the lack of employees at the government office. And plus, just because the government, despite being a superpower, major power in the world, does not mean they have certain processes like our office on helping a case move to the next step. Believe it or not, unfortunately. I know they do have the Emma website chat person, which is a real person, by the way, helping. But other than that, it's not even filing petitions online, which is not for every case. It's only for, I think, N400, become a citizen, and I-130, and 765. And I think change your status now, finally. But it's not a good system, even filing online. So hopefully that shares some context. Let's see here. Okay, so if you want to get in touch with us, we do share a secret code towards the end of the show. I should be here with the amount of questions we have here, maybe for another 10, 15 minutes. So please stay tuned, because other people's questions, you might want those answers as well. And by the way, if you are new to our channel, if you could do me a favor, much love, smash the love button or the like button. And what is that? I I forgot thumbs up. It's been a couple weeks for me. I apologize. Smash the like button, the thumbs up, and subscribe down below. We greatly appreciate it. And of course, if you have a neighbor, or friend, coworker that has at least one immigration question, or they're considering they're a U.S. citizen or a resident considering to sponsor someone, please share our channel. We're happy to answer any questions. We're going to put out more content every week from now on. Now that I'm back, I hope internet is stable. It was not too stable in Vietnam. I tried to do a live show out there when it was dark, give y'all an idea what the beach could look like, but it was too dark. Okay, so let me take a step back here on the comments. Good morning, UK. I wonder if that means your initials or you're actually living in the UK. And here's your second comment. Let's see. You have a question on you're here since 2015. Sorry, I have to look at I have two screens. You could probably hear all those dings. And, that's life, right? We get a lot of notifications. I try to minimize my notifications on my phone. Now I need to figure out with the computer. So I can give plenty of tips on that notification, reduce overwhelming. So that's what we're trying to do here. Solve your immigration problem, reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed, even if your case is not moving, okay? We're here to help your case get moving to the right direction, okay? So, okay, UK, off my tangent here. You're here in America since 2015 on asylum and TPS with 5 years U.S. citizen. I think you mean that your U.S. citizen sponsor. Does that mean you are asylee? You're still seeking, that you're still waiting on your asylum interview? And it sounds like you do have TPS already because, those don't take as long, definitely don't take as long as asylum applications of 589. And you're with 5 years U.S. citizen. So I think that means you have a spouse maybe who's a U.S. citizen for 5 years. I could be completely wrong. I'm just trying to dissect your comments here, your question. So please drop in the comments to clarify that part. Yeah, you're still waiting for an interview. Okay. And please advise me anyway to get a green card early from LA. Okay. Well, we've helped several clients waiting for asylee status, at least for the interview in LA. And fortunately, knock on wood. Okay, knock on wood. I cannot guarantee for everyone, but for your son's a U.S. citizen. Okay. I cannot guarantee for everyone, but I believe if I can recall, for asylum seekers from LA with the U.S. Attorney's Office over there, they're able to get it scheduled within about 2 to 3 months after we file the lawsuit. So your case was right before President Trump changed the policy of last in, first out, which whatever policy it is, it's crappy. They need to figure it out, even with President Biden. So for better or worse, I know some people say they want to file asylum, and if it takes longer, that's fine. They can wait it out with a work permit. But at the end of the day, some of y'all have children who are about to turn 18 or 21 and could age out, and they're living abroad. So that would be definitely a reason to file for mandamus. If you have a child, let's say 16, 17 years old, living abroad, or actually here also in the United States, and you want them to be included with your asylum case, then you definitely need to file a mandamus lawsuit, okay? That's reaching a pain point, essentially, okay? Now, your son's a U.S. citizen for 5 years. Okay, that's what it looks like in this, like what you said right here. You came on a B1P2. Okay, that's good. And did you file your asylum application timely? Because doing that timely means filing within 1 year of your entry. I know some people have questions like if it's is it still timely if your status expires? It could have been F1, student visa, or J1, and then you file asylum. That's higher level for me. Okay, that's outside my scope, to be honest. Might want to speak to asylum attorney about that. We don't handle the asylum case itself, the underlying case. What we do with asylum case, we help with the mandamus part. Okay, so You have to do your own due diligence, but I do know that some of the clients that attorneys sent to us, one attorney they can consider is Brian Manning. Check out his YouTube channel. He has a channel out there putting out content as well. So he could better help assist with those type of questions specific to asylum, but that's something to consider. What we try to do on this channel also is help share information that normally you wouldn't find out until you have that problem, right? So it's really anticipating what kind of problem you have so you can strategize in advance if, as best as possible. And I know sometimes that's difficult. Okay. So UK, I'm not sure if I answered your question, but because I want to try to do that as best I can. But if you've been waiting for an interview, because I'm just guessing here, but if you've been waiting for the interview since 2015 on asylum, application 589, then it's definitely time because the cases that we filed in LA, they were 2016 and more recent. Okay, so but something also about asylum seekers, we really, I really feel bad to file a lawsuit and mandamus lawsuit against the government, and then we get your interview scheduled, which is great, but then you don't have an asylum attorney representing you. So even if you do have an attorney right now for that, you might want to check in with that person, with that professional, to make sure they still have your case file, especially because it's been so long. Because if we start filing your lawsuit, which our team does, our attorneys do a great job of asking this type of question, is when's the last time you spoke with your main attorney? Because if we get your interview date in 2 or 3 months, that's great. But then maybe your attorney's not ready. Your main attorney for asylum's not ready, or they're busy. Then you scramble to find another attorney. So that's why it's a lot of planning ahead because we know you will get an interview date when we file a lawsuit. Okay. I can't guarantee it, but we know lawyers don't like to guarantee. Okay. So let's see. And you have a daughter 10 years in back at home. Yeah, you did it before the 1 year. Timely filed. Okay, great. So yeah, I mean, fortunately, you still have 8 years left for in terms of age out situation with your daughter. But I mean, you've been waiting since 2015. It's a long time. And I'm sure you want to see your daughter. Hopefully, your daughter's been able to visit at some point. But of course, it's been difficult during pandemic. Again, if you love the way we share content, smash the love button, the hearts, the thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it because it helps me understand how to, share the content. So, and there's just so much to share. So I realize that. And because of that, we're going to go live. I'm going to try my best every day. Okay. At 11 a.m. Central Time. If I get requests for other times, then I'll try to accommodate. Maybe I'll do that on TikTok, go live. Which, by the way, for me to go live on TikTok, I need 1,000 followers apparently. So I think I'm at like almost 700. So I mean, show me some love. Please follow if you have TikTok. I took the plunge. I really tried not to go into TikTok for the last year, but my lawyer colleagues, friends, and friends in general said, "John, you're gonna love TikTok." But for us, it's really for professional means. It's a way for us to share, know your rights, help you try to either prevent your possible problem from happening, or solving your problem. Okay, for immigration. All right, so let me go back a couple steps here. Ahmed, I think I mentioned your comment earlier. So for anyone just joining the channel now, we do offer free 15 minutes consultation, preliminary discussion, see if we can point you in the right direction. But you need to share the secret code, and we have that. We're going to share that at the end of the show, probably for another 5-7 minutes here. And let's see here. Okay. Aziz, I was trying to get to your comment. There we go. You EWI, enter without inspection. You're placed in removal proceedings, and your asylum terminate. If I filed for VAWA concurrent, can I travel outside USA with advance parole? So that's a lot. I know this is just a YouTube comment, so it might be hard to type it all out. But I actually don't know if it's like Twitter, if it restricts the characters. But okay, I see you wrote it again. So let me see if you wrote something different. Okay, looks very similar. So you would need to call in for that kind of question, but because there's a lot of things going on in general with someone who EWI, enter without inspection, and you have the ability to get advanced parole, then yes, you can travel. However, this is where we go into other layers, okay? And that is about your, um, from what I can see, you're trying to, I think you're saying your removal proceeding case was terminated. So that's a good thing. That's great. Now, what I don't understand is your asylum part. You said asylum terminate. Does that mean your 589 case was closed, denied, or open, active, and you're just waiting for interview? Or you do have asylee status, so that was approved. There's a lot for me to dissect there and figure out for you. Um, but I'm assuming you don't have asylee status because you said you filed for VAWA concurrently, the I360. Um, so now I wonder, how did you get advance parole? What was your basis for advance parole? Okay. Because if you do have asylum pending, or even if you do have asylum status, asylee status, it's just not advisable to go back to your country of nationality, wherever you are seeking asylum from. Okay. Because then they're going to get rid of your status. Okay. So hopefully that answers your question there on that one. Okay. Oh, your case is closed. Okay. Well, I wonder why you're okay. Well, yeah, you definitely should call in, Aziz. Okay. Here's our number: 720-740-4247. Or you can answer a few questions on our website, greencardguys.com, and then click on the contact us page. And I'm going to go into a little bit why. Okay, this is how you do it. Okay, the website has updated since then, but that's the basics there. Okay, you go to the contact us page, answer a couple questions, and after you fill out the question, answer the question, it should take you to schedule a free 15 minutes. Okay, you have to enter in the code. So going back to your question, your asylum case is closed. So I wonder, why was it closed? Was it asylum application because it was closed with the court case? So if you have what lawyers call prima facie case, that you think you're eligible for asylum, and you haven't done this yet, I would definitely recommend filing the I-589 again, but this time to the mailing address for affirmative. And affirmative means, so I just know the basics for asylum, at least in terms of mailing it, but um, affirmative means that you're filing it without being involved with court. So again, I don't know the nuances about I'm pretty sure if you close your court case, then the asylum case is also closed. So you need to refile it to the affirmative mailing addresses. Okay. Oh, closed without court case. Okay. Well, why was it closed? So that goes in more detail. Why I highly recommend you chat with our cares team in the beginning. Okay, let them know why it was closed. Okay, and you were married. I don't know if you're currently married or are still married to after abuse. Okay, but you raise a good point, Aziz. I do want to go into a little bit detail about the VAWA type cases. Is very important. If you have, and I'm sorry that you've have to gone through this, but you want to consider, if you have an Aziz or anyone else. I'm a board member of a domestic violence organization here in Houston, Texas. So this topic is very important to me. Even if you don't think you need help, that's often the case. Some people think they don't need help. Okay. But life is tough. Especially if it's a recent situation or even 3 years ago, you might consider that. I'm not going to force you to, but you might want to consider talking to a counselor. They're called different names, therapists, uh, therapists, licensed counselor. You might want to check in with one just to make sure everything is okay. Because life is tough, especially with the pandemic. So we've heard a lot of stories about that. So even if you don't think you need the help, but here's the other tip: you need to call the police. Okay, it's not like U visa that you need a police report and have the certification form signed, a 918B. But for VAWA, I always, of course, think. Then again, we also had cases approved without a police report. But we also, in that situation, we had reports from the shelter or a counselor. So it just depends on the situation. Okay. So that's what I want to share with y'all. I just want to share that. So if it's too late, then before it's too, again, preventing an immigration problem. That's what we're trying to do ultimately. Part one, that's part one. And part two is solving the immigration problem. If you had that situation with prior attorneys, hopefully not. But we get a lot of calls about it. So, friends, I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Just saying my team, excuse me, seeing my team had any questions. So, okay, so here's the deal. Just my last comments before I share the secret code. Thanks for staying on. I appreciate it. If your case is stuck, if you don't know if your case is stuck, but you're like, but I heard my friend, even a couple years ago, still during pandemic, was able to get it processed sooner. It's okay. Give us a call. We'll let you know. Our CARES team, they'll try their best to let you know if you possibly qualify for maybe a mandamus lawsuit. And again, if you sue them, the government agency, the respective government agency, it doesn't mean that they're going to deny your case. It could happen. I can't promise you it's going to get approved, but it needs to move your case to the next step in the internal process of the government. Okay. And I know it's strange. Sometimes not sometimes, you've provided addresses, where you worked, all that information, your date of birth, your birth certificate, all the basic information. And then they send you this 221G or, depending on their situation, or 5535, form. And you're like, they got all this already. Why they got to rehash the details here? Yeah, that's what the government does. They like to mess with you. So this is what we got to do. We got to file a lawsuit. You got to take action. Okay. Of course, you don't have to do any work. We do it for you. Okay. In some situations, depending on where you live or where your sponsor lives, we might not have that certification there, but that's okay. We team up with other attorneys with co-counsel, no extra cost to you. We we help them out on that one. Okay. So at the end of the day, we have a certain process. Okay. In any case type, usually we have 3 membership plans with us: max plan, pro plan, light plan. Okay. They have, of course, a light plan will have reduced fees. You don't have to pay as much, but it's reduced services. Okay. So if you want the max plan, you're going home and you're saying, John or John's legal team, I want to file a lawsuit in less than 72 hours after hiring us. We can do that. Okay. But it might take some nuance, especially coordination with the other attorney, if we don't have a certification in that federal district court. But max plan, 72 hours. Pro plan, 1 week, 7 business days. Okay. And light plan, up to 30 days. Okay. The goal here, what I'm trying to tell you, is we will file that lawsuit. Our goal was within that time frame. Okay. If we don't file in that time frame, we will reduce the fees. Of course. We're going to be fair. Okay. And here's the thing. Most law firms, you call them, you say, when are you going to file my lawsuit? When are you going to file my case in general, my petition? They don't know the answer to that. Unbelievable. It's crazy. Okay. It's unbelievable. So, I've actually spoken at a conference about this, to have a plan set for your clients, your potential clients, so they know when the case is going to be filed. So even for like marriage case, any case type, we have filing internal deadlines based on your plan that you select. So that's just one benefit. I'm not going to go in all detail right now. You can check out our website about it. And yeah, now here's the secret code that I want to share with y'all. Alrighty, here is a secret code. Check it out on the bottom left of the screen. Okay, green card guys, you could have guessed it, but I had to ask y'all to wait. Okay, and here's all the benefits we have, of course, with our team. That's for any plan. Okay, transparency. We share the file from day one. I know it's unbelievable. Most law firms don't do that. We answer your phone call. Can you believe it? It blows my mind. When someone calls us, you watch our channel, you call us and you say, I can't get in touch with my attorney. I'm like, I can't believe it, because we allow you to self-schedule every week if you want to. But who wants to talk to an attorney every week? I can't. I mean, I love to chat with y'all. It's any member of my team, and there's the little one. That's my signal. Okay. Well, you got the secret code. I greatly appreciate it. And I wish y'all the best. Stay safe, and talk to you soon.